Welcome to today's Explainer. I am so thrilled to have you here because we're about to literally tear off the shingles and look at the hidden mechanics of your home's absolute most vital shield. And to really do this right, we're not just looking at any random roof in any random place. No, we are using the extreme, relentless climate of North Texas, specifically the Balch Springs and Dallas area, as our ultimate testing ground. So get comfortable, focus in, and let's decode the anatomy of a roof together.
Think about this for a second. What is your home's most vulnerable defense system? For houses in North Texas, your roof isn't just some static cap sitting on top of your house. It is an active, daily battleground that is constantly fighting to keep your home's integrity intact. If the roof fails, well, everything underneath it is totally at risk. Okay, here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the Texas weather war, move into why good roofs go bad, explore the science of defense, tackle navigating costs and insurance, and wrap up with spotting roofing red flags.
Section 1. The Texas Weather War. The North Texas environment is basically the ultimate antagonist to residential architecture. I mean, your roof is constantly under siege from forces that most other parts of the country literally never experience with this kind of intensity. 100 plus. We are talking about ambient summer temperatures that regularly top 100 degrees. And up on the roof? Oh, it is much, much hotter. This intense heat just relentlessly bakes those asphalt shingles day in and day out, causing them to lose their flexibility, crack, and deteriorate way faster than they ever would in a milder climate.
But you know, heat is really only half the battle. 110, that's the wind speed in miles per hour that roofing materials out here often need to be rated for just to survive. Spring and early summer in North Texas bring these massive, severe thunderstorms with sudden, vicious straight-line winds. And we aren't even talking about tornadoes here. These are just severe storms that can literally strip the shingles right off a weakened roof in a matter of minutes. No joke.
Now here's where the plot really thickens for areas like Balch Springs. A massive portion of the homes in these neighborhoods were built back in the 70s and 80s. So what does that actually mean for our weather war? Well, it means if those homes still have older composition shingles, or just roofs that haven't been professionally assessed in a couple of decades, they are critically past their survival expiration date. They're essentially facing modern megastorms with ancient armor.
Section 2. Why good roofs go bad. So if we pivot inward and examine the actual anatomy of a roof failure, we see two totally distinct types of destruction. First, you have heat and UV degradation. This is your sneaky, slow-cooking death. Constant UV exposure makes the shingles incredibly brittle over the years, just slowly robbing them of their protective granules. On the flip side, you have hail and wind, which bring immediate, violent destruction. Massive hail completely cracks the shingles right on impact, and then the wind lifts them up, instantly breaking those essential adhesive bonds. So it's really a slow burn versus a sudden impact.
But wait, roofs don't just fail from the top down. We have to consider the hidden culprits. Most actual roof leaks trace back to flashing failures. That's when the metal literally pulls away at the seams around your chimney or your vents. Then you've got inadequate attic ventilation, which is brutal because it cooks your roof from the inside out by trapping all that hot air. We also have shifting clay soil, something North Texas is famous for, which causes the actual structure of the house to move and puts immense stress on the roof. And finally, just plain old accumulated debris in your valleys and gutters that holds moisture and just rots the materials away.
Section 3. The Science of Defense.
So, how exactly does modern engineering fight back against all these brutal realities? Well, it actually starts with something called the 1-150 rule. Let's break down this crucial bit of math. It dictates that for every 150 square feet of attic space, you absolutely need 1 square foot of ventilation. Why is this so important? Because a roof needs to breathe. Balanced intake from the soffits and exhaust through the ridge stops the roof from prematurely aging from the inside. Without this airflow, that Texas heat just gets trapped, and you're basically roasting your own shingles from underneath.
And when it comes to the top layer itself, this is your gold standard, Class 4 impact resistance. Upgrading the Class 4 shingles provides this essential, highly tested armor against large hail strikes. But the really beautiful thing about this engineering, because it drastically reduces the likelihood of catastrophic hail damage, installing these might actually score you a pretty significant discount on your homeowner's insurance premium, so it's protection that literally pays you back.
Section 4. Navigating costs and insurance.
Let's ground all this science in some financial reality and address a major misconception while we're at it. You might think the premium impact-resistant shingles or the metal flashing are what consume the biggest chunk of your budget, but actually, it's labor. Having skilled crews doing safe, code-compliant tear-offs and proper installations is always going to require the biggest investment.
Complex roof designs, steep pitches, and structural decking repairs just add to those labor hours. The takeaway here, never, ever cut corners on labor just so you can buy a fancier shingle. You also need to be acutely aware of how time impacts your insurance coverage. When your roof is brand new, at year 0, you usually have full coverage. Awesome. But right around year 15, Texas insurance carriers start heavily scrutinizing claims. They are going to look incredibly closely for pre-existing wear and tear. And by year 20, well, if you haven't replaced that roof, you're facing heavy depreciation on your payouts. Or your insurance company might just drop your policy entirely. It is a harsh truth, but it's one you absolutely have to plan for.
Section 5. Spotting roofing red flags.
Picture this. A massive storm hits, and the next day your neighborhood is just filled with roofing trucks. Now, not all of them have your best interests at heart. You need some solid consumer survival tactics to dodge industry scams. Watch out for glaring red flags, like contractors demanding full cash up front, knocking on your door right after a storm pushing for an immediate signature, or illegally offering to waive your insurance deductible. Seriously, don't walk, run from these guys. Instead, you want to look for green flags. A legitimate contractor provides a highly detailed written estimate, they have a physical local address, proper Texas contractor registration, and they will happily supply all the manufacturer warranty paperwork.
Also, there are a few specific phrases you must absolutely never say to a contractor. Never tell them, insurance will pay whatever you charge, because you immediately lose all your leverage. Don't say, I need it done immediately. That just signals total desperation, and you might skip getting multiple bids. Do not announce, I know nothing about roofing, and please, whatever you do, never say, just make it look nice. You have to maintain your oversight, demand specifics in writing, and keep the power in your hands during those negotiations.
So what does it look like when the process actually goes right? It really boils down to this straightforward 3-step sequence. Step 1 is a thorough inspection, where the contractor actually gets up on the roof, looks inside the attic, and provides a clear, itemized estimate. Step 2 is a professional installation that adheres strictly to local building codes and the manufacturer's exact specs. And Step 3 is a final inspection, accompanied by a written warranty that legitimately protects your investment. That's it. It should be fully transparent from start to finish.
Well, that brings our explainer to a close for today. But before you go, I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative thought. Your roof is fighting the elements right now, today, at this very second. So, when was the last time you actually checked its armor? Don't wait for the water stains to show up on your living room ceiling to tell you that the battle has been lost. Get out there, assess your home's most critical defense system, and stay protected. Thank you so much for learning with me today. See you next time.